Here on China Take, we're no strangers to covering stories involving poor food safety in China. And while most of these scandals invariably tend to involve mainland China, a case emerged last week that showed that Taiwan is not immune from questionable food hygiene either. According to the Taipei Times, the food oil manufacturer Changguan revealed that one of its lard products was allegedly found to be tainted with gutter oil illegally recycled by an unlicensed factory. Gutter oil is a term used to describe recycled oil collected from various sources such as kitchen fryers, restaurant drains and grease traps, and it is mainly used in the production of soap. Since the scandal became public knowledge on Friday, the number of Taiwanese food manufacturers identified as having used the recycled oil had swelled to over 400 by Monday afternoon, with the oil having been supplied to at least 900 of the island's restaurants and bakeries. An official from Taiwan's Food and Drug Administration acknowledged that they couldn't rule out the possibility of the oil having been sold outside the island as well. As of Monday afternoon, both Hong Kong and Macau authorities were on high alert after it emerged that Changguan had conducted business with companies from those two regions. Although there are no confirmed reports of tainted oil having been imported to mainland China yet, food safety watchdogs have ordered local authorities to suspend inspection applications filed by Taiwanese companies and to examine their past export records to the mainland. Well, to find out how Chinese net users have reacted to yet another food safety scandal this year, let's cross over to the newsroom and our researcher Julia Liu. Hi, Julia. Well, to start with, what's the reaction from Chinese net users to the revelation that food safety scandals involving gutter oil are now not just confined to the mainland?
Well, as you might imagine, plenty of net users are shocked and angry at these revelations. And there are also those who have a rather ironic take on the whole situation. Well, this poster from Hunan says, the scandal is a slap in the face to those Taiwanese with a superiority complex toward mainlanders. And this poster, Guodong, seems to be enjoining the scandal somewhat, saying, the mainland and Taiwan are indeed from the same family, and now they share the same malpractices. Well, another poster clarifies, gutter oil appears in Taiwan before mainland China, and it was Taiwan that had introduced the technique from Japan decades before. And this anonymous poster remarks, well, Yum and McDonald's will be happy to hear this news, as the public's attention is diverted from the expired meat scandal on them. And some net users are losing confidence in the Taiwanese brands that are implicated in the scandal, like this poster from Tianjin, who says, there's only one bottle of Weiquan milk left in my fridge, and I just ate some bread from 85 degrees. What might happen to me? And this poster, 我是李老师, responds with another sarcastic post, saying, well, we Chinese have already survived so many food scandals that our bodies are already immune to the poisonous food.
Okay, well, after the scandal was exposed, a video clip circulated online featuring remarks from the outspoken Taiwanese personality Chen Li-hong, who said on a Taiwanese talk show last year that gutter oil should be sold on the mainland to help mainlanders conduct birth control. So how do net users feel about this?
Well, Chen made the comment last year after some Taiwanese cooking oil companies were exposed to selling crude cottonseed oil that was harmful to consumers' reproductive capacity. Well, Chen used the occasion to mock the Chinese mainland's family planning policy, resulting in widespread condemnation from net users. While a poster on Tianyada says, well, if I ever come across Chen, I would want to pour a bucket of gutter oil on him. And this poster, 西瓦耳朵, argues on 观察的实验. Although I am from Taiwan myself, I think what he said is quite improper. I want to apologize to all mainlanders on behalf of the Taiwanese for his senseless words. Well, it's a shame such a ill-mannered person is given the oxygen of publicity, while most Taiwanese people are rational and don't side with him. And this poster remarks, well, mainlanders should stay calm and avoid being misled by this individual's choice of words. The majority of Taiwanese are not like this. Well, this poster thinks Chen's remarks were taken out of context, saying, well, Chen was pandering the local audience who also hold less than positive views towards the mainland, and the program wasn't even shut down. And it's worth noting that this is not the first time that the mainland Chinese have been angered by ill-considered comments from the Taiwanese media. Well, earlier this year, a Taiwanese TV commentator claimed that the country's cheap and popular tea eggs were too much of a luxury for mainlanders to afford. And another remarked that blue-collar workers on the mainland were too poor to afford home computers.
Okay, well, poor food safety is a major concern across Greater China. And here on China Take, we've covered many scandals like this before. So do net users feel that there are any lessons that can be drawn from this most recent case so as to avoid having this happen again in the future?
Well, lots of net users have the feeling that both here on the mainland and in Taiwan, the punishment for food safety offenders is too low and does not act as an effective deterrent. Well, this poster named "qi che ren" is among those who believe tougher sanctions should be enforced to deter offenders, saying, well, people who produce gutter oil should be liable for heavy financial penalties to prevent them from starting illegal businesses again. And there are also those who believe that the relevant supervisory bodies have not done enough to prevent the spread of gutter oil. Well, one Fujian-based poster says, well, it seems to be common in both Taiwan and the mainland that the relevant supervisors are about as useful as a deaf man's ear. Well, take Taiwan's case as an example. Well, the problem only came to light when a huge amount of recycled oil was sold and then reached a big area. Well, what were these officials doing previously? And this poster, Yuzi, remarks, well, China is revising its original food safety law, as the public has called for stricter legislation. However, this law won't be effective without strict enforcement. Well, the relevant supervisory bodies should reform their working style and make greater efforts to establish a sound mechanism that oversees the food safety chain effectively and removes all associated loopholes. Well, this poster, 波波富, reminds consumers not to have a blind faith in big brands, saying, well, the latest scandal suggests the instances of gutter oil being used are not limited to small, unlicensed street vendors, but also well-known and respected companies. Well, in the food safety field, no party is allowed to take chances. And finally, this poster feels that an increase in trade between Taiwan and the mainland should result in greater cooperation measures, saying, with an increase in terms of cross-strait trade, while the relevant authorities from both sides are urged to deepen their cooperation on food safety issues.
Okay, thanks, Julia. And that was China Take researcher Julia Liu with some views on the latest gutter oil scandal currently dominating the headlines in China. Next up on China Take, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.